Now it seems like if I'm not at work, I'm home and she like leaves me with the kids and goes and takes off to go see her mom, which is cool. But like it's really eating up my that kind of time with little babies kind of hanging on me. So give me a little bit of sympathy for her situation. All right, we live. Got it. I want to send an invite over to Sanchez asked. He asked it.
I'm out of here then.
I gotta get some sleep. I gotta get up early for tomorrow's book.
Same. Yeah, same. Me too. Hey, how'd you like us sitting down recording, doing a comic cave?
Me?
Yeah.
I thought it was great. I like it. It reminded me of how it used to be for you guys. It's cool. And that's not a big deal.
Okay.
Okay, because tomorrow's episode we're shooting as we stand on our hands.
The fuck?
And we're gonna show off the books with our feet.
It's called chimpanzee version. Pray for Mojo.
MJOLNIR. What the heck is this picture?
Sanchez.
What is this?
I'm gonna be taking a chunk of this to put into an actual show.
L.
So I'm not gonna make you do it, but I would like you to actually be here and not be a widget or whatever.
Oh, widget.
I'm gonna take chunks out of this show now on the weekly and make top 5 show every week. So what I'll do is I'm going to take our conversation that we have. We'll give some homework to everybody, a little bit of homework so you can think about what we're going to talk about. And then I'm going to probably take us and put us in the corner and put up pictures of the things that we're talking about and then use that as a almost like an illustration for what we're speaking about. So today we talked about, most of us talked about the topic for today. So I would have snippets from random movies, cartoons, and comic pages or whatever in there with it. And I'm going to kind of use that to encase it in an episode. And it seems like those top 5, top 10 videos that I put out are heavy hitters. So if we get, good talking content with it, and then I'm able to put some visuals, wrap it in some visuals, I think it's going to be a good show to come out off of this one. And then it'll be that snippet of it, and it won't have to be a 3-hour piece for them to catch, the whole conversation. So I'm excited about that. You still there, Vargas? All right, cool. Well, I'm gonna need your head in there when we go into that main topic. Are you charging?
Like charging to be here? No. I write these hours off as a charity.
So how are things at the shop, Liz?
They're good. I wasn't there this weekend. I had other family obligations to deal with.
Oh, I know. I stopped by and you weren't there.
But I don't want to hear it because you know what? You got to have Maurice's scones. So
Oh shit! I forgot about the scones.
Dude, fire.
Were they the chocolate ones?
yeah.
They were marble. They were like chocolate and vanilla or something.
Oh,
Damn
man,
it.
I should have gone.
It's were fire, yo.
Were they
Ah,
the mini ones again, or were they the big ones?
Oh no, they were like mini.
The mini ones, yeah.
It was like the same size as the ones at
Okay,
Those
those
are
are
mini.
like
Those are
mini
mini.
versions of the ones that she normally makes.
Oh.
She normally makes bigger, like they're like twice that size.
I think at
Damn
one
it.
point I stopped chewing and I was just like, oh.
He's pretty good at that. He has a really deep throat.
I chose
A scone is
alcohol.
no problem for him to down. That's a walk in the park.
Read between the
Man.
lines, buddy.
I shouldn't have gone drinking. I should have just gone over there and ate some scones.
Yeah, I saw you were down in the neighborhood. What's this
Yeah.
fool doing over here?
Then oh yeah, it's a Newport.
I got to kick it though with OG Ray and John. It's good times. Good times was had by all.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, this week isn't as big as the last 2 weeks have been new comic wise, so I'm a little less stressed about that.
I did. I was talking with John though and Ray about making sure you guys go through the guest list for WonderCon and just start pulling all the books that you guys have available for all those guests and just kind of put them aside so that way people coming in and you guys can advertise like, yo, if you guys are attending WonderCon, we got Scotty Young books, we got Kevin Smith books. That way people can come in, pick them up, and then take them to the show to get signed.
Nice.
Just printing you money right there.
That's the
Damn.
we're
$1 million idea.
taking in a Scotty Young collection too.
Make sure you guys post the heck out of that. Make sure people come on down.
It's
Especially,
oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say,
too.
That's a genius move.
Yeah, WonderCon's looking a lot better. Like guest wise, there's more people showing up. So
Everybody
Yeah.
got their tickets?
yeah,
I did.
I'm getting mine tomorrow.
I tried to get a press pass today, but they were full.
Yeah. Also look at Artist Alley. Make sure you look at Artist Alley because I want to say Dustin's on there, isn't he?
he should be. He's always there every year.
Yeah.
No, I plan on going in and be like, hey, come to my store. I'm literally 5 minutes down the street. Come hang out.
I'll buy
We have
you
beer.
Japanese whiskey. No, he likes Japanese whiskey.
We'll have food. Okay.
We'll have
I'll have Brandon
scones.
go out and get some.
We'll have whiskey infused scones.
Right, baby. So it'll be fun.
Ace is gonna be there. He hasn't been in WonderCon for a while, so Ace Continental is gonna be there too.
Great artist.
Isn't that Continue Auto?
Yeah, he's gonna be there. I just talked to him. He posted something on his page that he's gonna be there. So I thought I'm gonna hit him up for a commission. It's
What are
been a
you
while
gonna get?
since I've seen him and gotten something from him.
What are you gonna get?
I'm thinking of doing like a 11x17.
Booster Gold.
No, like a versus. I'm deciding right now which character, because last time I have the one from Omega Red versus Wolverine and Sabretooth.
You gotta do Dark Claw versus Spider Boy.
That would be good. Or maybe I was thinking of like Dark Hawk versus somebody, or I don't know, going 90s on here. Oh, you know what? I wouldn't mind like, well, no, Red Skull's kind of shitty character, but
Hey,
for like a Captain America versus somebody, but somebody tough though, like cool. I can't think
hear
of
you,
it.
bro.
George St. Pierre
Yeah, George St. Pierre. Bad Rock.
with the
Yeah,
with the hair to the side, the way he did it in the movie.
Yeah, like that.
That doesn't sound
And
like
so
it.
you could go, I am not impressed by your performance.
I am not impressed by your performance. Ooh. Remember that was like considered smack talking by that guy. I see he's fight, and I just got to say I am not that impressed by his performance. Oh, he's not impressed by his performance.
Emotional damage.
That guy was so modest and so humble that like that was his smack talking. Oh man.
So were you guys able to watch that weird DDP show that was on?
No,
Did anybody catch it? Was it the DDP? Like, was it?
Diamond Dallas Page.
Yeah, it was. I told you guys about it last week. It was like a weird show on Netflix. It was like
No, I didn't
superheroes.
watch it.
It was. I actually finished it, and the last episode, like, goes 360 in a completely different direction from the other ones. It was. I don't know. It was weird. It was like Robot Chicken meets The Watchmen meets The Boys or something. There was also, it just came out within the last 2 weeks on Amazon Prime, that Boys, like a new animated like cartoon
Yeah, that's good.
based on The Boys. It was pretty good. Some of the episodes were weird, but for the most part, it was pretty intriguing. I don't know if anybody else saw it besides me and Sanchez.
Yeah, it's good.
No.
Tough
didn't
times.
watch it.
There's a couple other shows that on Netflix. Well, a show and then a movie. The Last Kingdom, the last season came out, and it ended super great.
The Last
series.
Kingdom?
Yeah,
What is that?
for Netflix. It's from England and like Vikings and stuff like that. It's really,
Oh,
really good.
Vikings. Okay, yeah.
But it's
yeah.
not. It's not
Oh,
part.
okay.
It's not part of the Vikings era. It's a different. It's like the Danes and everything else.
Like
But
a prequel or a sequel or something.
no. It has nothing to do with the Vikings. But
Oh,
it's a whole different.
Vikings.
It's a whole different thing. But it's called The Last Kingdom. It's I think it's 5 seasons. And the last
It says well,
Just came out.
actually they changed it to The Last Kingdom. I read about it because it was called Vikings Valhalla, and then people were bummed that it wasn't about Vikings, so then they switched it to The Last Kingdom. But I heard it's good.
Yeah, I saw the last. I just watched the last season. It's pretty good. And then I just finished watching the Adam Project. Not bad.
Yeah, the Adam Project was fun. I was
Yeah.
I was convinced that the kid that they had playing the 10-year-old Ryan Reynolds, he was convincing as he could have been Ryan Reynolds at 10. It was a good show. I liked it.
Yeah, it was a good choice of a kid. Good actor.
Well, did you see like the behind the scenes on that? That kid memorized all of Deadpool 2. The second Deadpool, the whole movie. So there's like a clip that they show where Ryan Reynolds is sitting in the front seat of the car, and it's between takes. The kid's in the back, and he recites the entire movie up to a point where Reynolds is like, "Oh my god!" So yeah, that kid was born to play a mini Ryan Reynolds.
It was a good movie. I liked it. I enjoyed it.
It's tough. It's tough to have this show going during a lean time of streaming. When we've got Boba Fett's and Scarlet Witches and other random things going on. I think that we probably got another month or two till a bunch of the stuff starts dropping. But
Well, the next one is in Moon Knight, right? The next one's gonna be up. It's Moon Knight.
yeah, that's in May. So we're still a little bit off for
And
that.
it's only 6 episodes.
Yeah, how many weren't all of those Marvel-y ones at about that length?
No.
Yeah, Well, I think WandaVision was the longest at like 8 episodes.
Yeah, I think all of them has been 8 episodes, except for Moon Knight. Moon Knight's only been. It's gonna be 6.
Wait, Moon Knight's a show?
Mhm.
Oh. Why did I think it was going to be a movie?
Then Obi-Wan's coming fairly soon, I believe.
Yeah, WandaVision was 9 episodes, and then
I still haven't seen the trailer for Obi-Wan, but already the usual brigade of suspects is talking about how Obi-Wan's going to be a bait and switch.
Hawkeye was 6. Oh, God.
What do you mean?
They're
Are
talking
you going to
about
transition
switch?
him or something?
No, they're talking about they're going to focus on a female character of color instead of Obi-Wan.
Nah.
They finna get straight
One
out
of the Inquisitors?
I have no idea. Like I said, I haven't seen the trailer. I don't know anything about. I've just seen some of the conversation coming out about it and how some of the guys that are into the rumors part are saying that Kathleen Kennedy had a pretty heavy hand in it.
I doubt it.
Take that.
That's
I
a
mean-
bummer.
I hope not.
I hope to God not. I'm gonna
Well,
like.
I mean, look at what they've been doing with all the old school characters. They've been like humbling them in like really awful ways, and like new characters get all the spotlight. So Mandalorian is great, Boba Fett, Snorefest, you know.
It seems like every so often my Kathleen Kennedy voodoo doll, the duct tape gets loose on its mouth, and it falls out. And it falls out of the freezer, so I got to go make sure that the duct tape's tight on the voodoo doll and throw it back into the back of the freezer.
Is that voodoo doll? Is it dressed up in the dancer costume from Temple of Doom?
Should be, right?
Yeah, because she was in that. She was one of the damn dancers.
Oh, really? Anything
Yeah.
goes.
She was one of the extras. Yeah.
Anything goes, huh?
Yep.
Oh, that's brutal.
The woman who would one day ruin Lucasfilm is dancing away in Temple of Doom. Temple of Doom.
You call him Dr. Jones, doll. All right, so we ready? Steve, are you gonna come on for real, or do we just got the picture?
You just got the picture.
Oh,
Boot his
sadly.
ass.
Yeah, I'm gonna. All right. Well,
If you just put a picture in Steve, he's going to put in anything else he wants to substitute.
I think we should pick which picture we get to.
it's okay. It's okay. The power of the edit will make it magical.
Yeah.
It's all good. I'll figure it out. So, who's got the dog?
Jose.
Jose.
Okay. He sounds ferocious. We'll let Jose get situated. All right, so
There he goes.
Sanchez, I didn't get a chance to talk to you about this. I prepped the rest of the team. Let's see what Padilla says. They're talking about Darth Maul and replacing him with Vader. To looking for Luke Skywalker.
Well, we saw what happened between him and Maul. Maul finds him, he gets killed, and that's it. It's like a quick 30-second battle that they did in Clone Wars.
Was it Rebels? Or Clone
Yeah,
Wars?
I know in the end of the Clone Wars, the
In
last
the Clone Wars.
season.
Yeah, then he was like, "Avenge me."
Yeah.
Like,
No, he
what?
says, is he gonna be the chosen one? He's like, we will hope so. And he's like, hope.
Well,
And
there is
told them.
a girl Darth Maul, isn't it? Like, well, not Darth Maul, a girl, but like the same species, like that they showed recently.
Well, they're different.
Oh no, bro. I don't want to dig too deep into it. It's like
Well, I think they showed.
All I know is that
female
all I know
Darth
is that
Maul.
Ray Park isn't available for signings right now, and because he's out filming something.
ooh.
Mm.
I hope he like hit the treadmill or something, because the last few times I seen him, he didn't look like he was any kind of Darth. He was like Farth. He was a little bit. He was a little bit on the pudge side.
He was fit the last time we saw him.
I don't know. I still feel like he could pull a backflip off. So
He's been in
You mean like
training.
this?
no, I think he's probably still in pretty good shape. I mean, even if he out of shape for him is like peak for us.
That's true.
Oh yeah, but I'm not trying to go and be Darth Maul either on, million billion dollar franchises.
I give a lot of breaks to Ray Park because he's the only good thing to come out of those damned prequels.
I liked Darth Maul.
Yeah.
I liked Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan.
He's okay. He's doing his best, Alec Guinness. Alec Guinness.
Somebody's had a little too much McGinnis.
as Modelo.
I liked some of the lightsaber battles.
Yeah, look, the choreography is great. The problem is it's disjointed from what follows.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It doesn't make any sense when you see Obi-Wan and Darth Vader fight in episode 4 as compared to the end of episode 3. You're like, what the hell happened?
They're old.
Yeah, so was the Emperor and Mace Windu, and that fight was pretty dope.
One sec. Hey Sanchez,
Uh-huh.
start thinking about Batman villains. We're gonna keep talking about Star Wars till Jose gets back, but think about some Batman villains.
We should talk about Jose until Jose gets back. I bet Isaac Sanchez have a bunch of great Jose stories.
I was gonna say.
Man,
There's
you know
one.
what? We could do that. We could tell a Jose story, and I can put in video
Animation?
around that. Yeah,
A little
not necessarily animation, but I could put pictures of Ben Stiller.
Let's just say if you ever go.
Oh,
to a
come on.
convention-
Let's just say
Hold on.
let's say the story. Come on.
anytime,
I know what you're thinking of.
anytime
Then
you go
shut
to
up
the
and let him say.
anytime you go to a convention with Jose, I want to tell you first and foremost, make sure you have him buy his family their gifts before he starts his convention day.
I
Because
hate him.
he will wait to the last day, to the last
The
30
last
minutes.
second.
We're dead tired, ready to go. And this asshole will go searching for gifts when we're trying to leave. He did it in San Diego this last time we were there.
We were so
all
tired.
prepped, ready to go. We had been waiting for fucking what's his name, Kevin Eastman, for 5 hours, and this asshole decides, hey, I need to get my family a gift still, and he dips out. So we don't leave till the convention actually fucking closes.
Oh, we're so pissed.
We were hungry. We wanted to go eat dinner, and this guy's like, hold on one moment, and he just disappeared for like 30-40 minutes, and we're like, where the fuck is this guy?
Every year he does this shit.
So yeah.
No,
That's-
but you know what story I was thinking of.
Oh, when he slept in the, we talked about that when we slept
No,
outside.
not that one.
There's like
Oh,
17
Tell it,
stories.
Sanchez. For fuck's
oh,
sake,
you-
say it.
The ADD one.
The
Whatever it's called.
ADD one.
The badge one.
The ADD
Come on,
one.
we
I
have a
think,
name for the story. It's called the Simple Jack story.
Yeah, the simple
that
Hey,
Jack.
one.
Padilla was there. Padilla was there. I remember.
Oh, cheese
No,
he's
but he-
back. We can't talk about him now.
Hey, Jose.
So yeah,
Damn
just
it, our
if
screen
you
got-
go, if you
Wait,
go,
what?
if you go with him to a convention, just make sure to be ready to not leave when you think you're gonna leave.
Or just go drive by Target afterwards and sleep in the car while he's inside Target getting shit.
He'll decide, wait, I need to go get this one thing, and he'll be like, gone. 30-40 minutes, gone.
What's with the knife, Argus?
My dog's barking weird. I hear stuff outside.
You should have dug a punchy pit. They're amazing.
I thought he was just gonna cut like some cake or something. Start eating it right there.
You would think it's cake,
I want cake.
but it's not. Actually, I do have cake.
I need ice cream.
Ice cream sounds good.
Yeah,
Ooh,
some Rocky Road.
some carrot cake.
I need to make a smoothie.
A smoothie?
Hurry up, let's do this because I want to make a smoothie.
All right. So we're going to be having weekly top 5 or top 10 topics that we're going to be pulling out of this show. This week's top 10 is going to be Batman villains. So we'll just discuss Batman villains and see where it goes. So we can start obscure and then go all the way to the end. But I think that there's a hell of a rogues gallery. We can go across all the angles of Batman. So we can talk about Cesar Romero's mustache or the many iterations of Catwoman in the 60s show. We can talk about Bane's funny voice, or we can talk about
That's your Bane voice?
yeah, it's not so I didn't get a chance to practice it. That was super improv. But I think out of the Spider-Man's up there, but I think Batman's got the a pretty good rogue galley of villains to pull from. So what are your guys' thoughts on Batman's villains? I know the
There's
Cave's
a lot-
big Batman
there-
guys.
There's a lot of them, but you would be surprised that the ones that everybody's familiar with, the iconic ones, there's only like about 10 of those guys. And it's hard. It was hard because I was going, when you put the thing in the text, I was going off of the top of my head for like ones that I would name. And a lot of times you're like, yeah, how can I not do this list without this guy on the list or this guy? Because they're just, when you think Batman and you think the people that he opposes, they're automatically on it. So I had to dig deep to even find one that wouldn't be in the standard like list of them. So
who is it?
I have a favorite from the animated series back in the day because I was always tripping out on him. Turns out he's been around since the late 70s, and that's the history teacher who went psycho after his wife died, Maximilian Zeus.
Maxie Zeus.
Maximilian Zeus.
Are you sure he wasn't in the regular TV
That guy's
show?
dope. I love him.
Didn't he come out on the Batman video game also, right? He comes out in one of the video
He's
games.
in one of the Batman video games, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
he's in
was
one of
pretty
them.
dope. Yeah.
So what's his deal? I'm not familiar with Maximilian Zeus.
Well, he's yeah. So in the comic book, he's a history professor, and his wife dies tragically, and it causes him to like lose his marbles, and so he identifies with the king of Olympus, and becomes like a crime lord with like a ancient Greece theme. I think in the animated series though, he's more of a tech mogul, kind of like Bruce Wayne, but he's so enamored with the ancient Greek mythology that he sets up the top of his business tower as like Olympus itself. So it's got gardens and waterfalls and deer running all over the place, and he's manufactured a piece of technology that looks like a steel lightning bolt, but it actually fires electricity from it. So I remember the episode where Batman goes to the top to confront him, and Maximilian Zeus is just hurling lightning at Batman everywhere to try and kill him. It's a pretty entertaining episode.
What do you got, Isaac?
Well, damn, we're going for obscure.
No, dude, we're just gonna throw them all on the wall.
For like the
and then
bottom
we're
of
gonna
my
fight over
list,
who's
I
in
would
top
say
10.
like Killer Croc. Like this dude.
Who's Killer Croc? What's his deal? I mean, I know who it is, but we gotta give a little bit of history, and I don't know if everybody's as detailed as Mr. Scott here, but
I'll make go Havoc first. I didn't expect all this.
all right, I got one for you guys.
Go for it.
Since Josh went obscure.
Yeah, that's why I was like, damn it.
Well, look, it's, you can go through, like I said, you can go through the normal stuff that we've seen in the movies over and over and over again, and all of those guys have definitely earned their spot in the villains list. But Maximilian Zeus was actually one of the ones that's not in that like top, that like normal 10 that I could remember off the top of my head. There was a couple of others, but they were not nearly as interesting.
Well, I'll go
Sure.
next if you don't mind.
Yeah,
I mean,
go ahead.
You
man.
just gave me the question right now. When Josh went obscure, I thought right away came Calendar Man.
Yeah.
Calendar Man. Tell us about Calendar Man.
Basically, he designs like machinery, like to do his bidding, and all his obsession is with all the like the different themes holidays, weekdays, and seasons. So, he could be he'll make a whole thing for like a Christmas thing, but it's all deadly, or Halloween. But he'll go based on count. All his clues is based through calendar dates and times and stuff like that. So that's one of the more obscure Batman villains that that came out.
That's cool. All right, here's the one I got for you guys. It is from the 1960s Batman series, King Tut.
Yeah,
I
King
told
Tut.
you. I told you.
King Tut's a
brought that
fictional
up to
character
John.
in the television series Batman. Character made his debut in The Curse of Tut. He was created by Earl Barrett, Robert C. Dennis, and Charles O. Rondeau, and portrayed by Victor Buono. I remember this guy was annoying, and
I have no idea who this is.
you never watched the old school Batman show?
You remember him showing up in the Lego Batman movie?
I never liked the old Batman 66. I thought it was too corny.
Yeah, it was pretty corny, and he was the elote supreme as far as corny goes. So he was something special. That's for sure. He was, I don't know, he was very like flamboyant and just weird. So since we're going since Josh went out there with Maximilian Zeus, then my one that I could put out there was King Tut.
No way, I got one better than both of you.
Oh,
Super
here we go.
scared.
Here we go.
Bring it.
So
Bring it.
this-
What do you got,
bring
Liz?
Okay, but it also comes from the Batman 66 television show. But how can you not like classic Vincent Price playing Egghead?
That's what
On-
John Padilla just said.
Dude, all of his crimes are egg motifs. He's got this big dome ball, and he was the his like quote unquote like superpower, but it really wasn't a superpower. Is that he was like the world's smartest criminal? What is it with bald guys and criminals in the DC universe? You got Lex Luthor for Superman. You got friggin' Egghead for Batman.
Hey,
And
Nathan, can you
those
put something up?
episodes were so good. Like he plays that stuff just perfectly.
You want me to put the
Perfectly.
egghead up?
Egghead.
Yeah, I've never seen this Egghead before.
You have
Okay, let
pictures?
me
Yeah.
see.
He just has like a big. He almost looks like a. Just imagine cone head, but instead of having a cone, it's just more domed on the top.
Ah, okay.
But Vincent Price, yeah, he was trying to always steal like Fabergé eggs and like the world's largest like something like in his like car was like a little like egg with a yolk. It had like the interior was like yellow to look like the yolk, but he had like a white car. Yeah, there he is.
Wow.
Dude.
They even made a
But he was
Negro
also
of it.
from the
He
comic
was-
books.
Yeah, he was in the Lego Batman movie too.
Here he is in Lego Batman.
Yeah. But he is a comic book character too.
Didn't know he existed.
And he would always use stuff like exactly and excellent. And but just imagine Vincent Price saying those things. You know what I mean? Like it's one thing to read them in the comic books, but then to have like Vincent Price portray something like that. Oh, it was so good. There you go. Top that.
Yeah, that's a good one.
We would have to change it to the top 10 worst Batman villains. That could
Top
be a different
10
show.
fun Batman villains.
There you go. All right, so Isaac's got Killer Croc on here. He's kind of
I don't even want to go with Killer Croc. You guys made it. You gotta
Well,
find
change
someone
your pick.
different.
He's like, I only
go
know
for-
cool Batman bad guys.
You guys know Professor Pig, right?
I don't.
Yeah.
Raja Valentina, the deranged.
That guy's
like,
creepy.
he was into like Twisted Surgeon, and he was just.
Oh
he was a
yeah.
psychopath. He kidnaps the Gotham citizens and transforms them to his obedience. He's just a weirdo, dude. He was a part of a circus of strange Also, like a little group of circus freaks.
Oh yeah, he came out on the Gotham show, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
think
remember.
I think he also came out on one of the video games too.
yeah. He was in the Injustice video game and the Arkham Knight.
Yeah, that's a good one.
But yeah, he has like it's kind of like bunny mask, but he has a pig mask instead.
This is kind of fun.
Another good one was Scarface, the fucking puppet with Arthur.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Padilla also said that too. He said Kite Man and Condiment Man. and
Oh,
Scarface.
Condiment Man.
Condiment Man.
You should have said obscure Batman villains, not
Well, because
top
it's
10
more
Batman
fun
villains.
digging deep for these guys than it is to say Joker, Riddler, Penguin.
I just want to say for the record that I remembered Maximilian Zeus off the top of my head.
It's true.
I didn't have to do a quick Google search like you bastards.
But no, but
Hey,
then
wait,
I didn't do that with
third
King
time.
Tut.
TV show.
Like
That's
I
That
what we
said,
calendar
came up
man
with
came up
because-
like this. It popped up.
Out of all of these, I had heard of King Tut, and I did hear of Professor Pig in Arthur and Scarface, but I wouldn't have thought to when you guys said them, a light bulb went off, and I was like, oh yeah, King Tut. That came from here, but I was inspired by the obscurity of Maximilian Zeus. So
What's Jose's?
What's his name? King Clock. He's from I remember the episode.
Adventures.
What is his name?
No, I'm saying he's for the cartoon, right?
Yeah, I remember. And he's the one that stops the time, and then he puts he does something to the Batmobile where it's like they're like everybody else is traveling around him, but then you realize like, oh man, the way the time works, if they even clip their car, it's like gonna create like a disaster or something. I forget his name. I think it's King Clock though.
let me see if I can find King Clock.
He's from Batman the Animated Series. Or King Time or Mr. Clock. I don't remember.
I know who you're talking about. He
But I
would
remember-
always he was always like, all the trains are always on time, and that's how he escapes. And
Yes. You remember
yeah,
that?
like, yeah,
Clock King.
there you
Clock
go.
King. There you go.
He's got that
Pull up a pic-
stopwatch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
His head's a stopwatch, right? No, he spins it. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I
there
remember
you
this
go.
guy.
he was also in the Lego Batman, wasn't he?
I don't
Yeah,
remember. What? That was crazy. That's funny. Oh, and the Brave and the Bold, he came out looking all extra.
Look at this one. He has actual clock for a head.
Well,
Yeah.
look at-
Oh, there you go. His
he was
glasses
also,
are.
was he
are
also in the
clocks.
66 Batman?
go
Yeah.
down. Go
Oh, was he?
He was also in the 66 Batman, right,
right
there,
there.
Oh,
Oh.
looking like the Mad Hatter.
with the top hat.
They took inspiration because of his the glasses. They're shaped like clocks on his
Some
eyes.
sinister eyebrows. Holy smokes. When Batman would be like, what are you doing here? I'm just browsing.
I'm on time.
Well, Isaac brought up that creepy one, Professor Pig. You know, the other one I have a hard time reading about is Zaz.
Oh yeah.
That guy just
Victor Zaz.
they need to get rid of that guy.
The serial
If they ever
killer.
need to do like a Silence of the Lambs, like there you go. Just bring that fool out. Ugh.
That's another good character.
He was in wasn't he in the movie too?
He was in
He-
the Gotham show.
No, he was on the Harley Quinn movie.
He showed up in Batman Begins too. He was
And-
just in jail.
I was gonna say, wasn't he locked? He was locked up, huh?
Yeah, he was already locked up.
Yeah.
And he was also in the video game too. One of the video games.
Fucking psychopath is what he is.
That guy. I don't
So
like that guy.
we got 9 obscure Batman villains so far. let's see, I got a million in my head that are not obscure, to Isaac's point.
What about the firebug?
You know what?
Firebug.
Hold on. There's another one.
Yeah,
Firefly.
Firefly.
Or Firefly. Firefly, that's what it is.
Didn't Maximilian Zeus show up in Wonder Woman at one point in the comics?
Did he?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember now.
I know that I remember seeing something that he fought against Batman and the Outsiders at one point, like in an Olympic event.
Oh, I got another one.
What?
I couldn't remember what his name was.
What?
Louis the Lilac, played by none other than Milton Berle. And that was a great episode because it had Milton Berle as Louis the Lilac. It had Vincent Price as Egghead, and it had King Tut all in the same episode.
Wow.
They were all
Wow.
it was like a gathering of the, and he would put out
Isn't he the uncle from Bewitched?
Yes, Milton Berle. Yeah, he's the one that would always Louis the Lilac. And I remember the first episode, there was like this big, everybody was like all peace, love, and hippy dippy stuff because it had all these pheromones where he made everybody super happy. Then he would go and like steal shit. And the things that he was stealing was the same thing that like Egghead wanted because it was like a Fabergé egg or something like that. And then on top of that, King Tut was getting super pissed too because all of his followers were leaving him and following Louis the Lilac instead. It was so good. Oh man. Sorry. I remember all of the TV show that AJ and I would watch it all the time when we would be at the store. It was great.
All right, there you have it. 10. It went from 10 top Batman characters to 10 super obscure Batman characters or villains. So do we want to transition to actual
Well, before we do,
Actual super.
got two things. Number one, for those of you that are watching the show, go ahead and put in who you think is the best obscure Batman villain. You know it's Maximilian Zeus, but just to confirm it, go ahead and put it in the comments. And secondly, I would be interested to hear who everybody's favorite Batman villain is.
In the comics, Louis the Lilac has only been referenced as Professor Lilac in the Gotham Academy because I've seen if he was ever in the comics.
There you go.
And he's only been in that as a professor. He's never been actually in the comics. He was in the cartoon. He was in the show. And then he's only been in the animated The Brave and the Bold, but he never made like an actual comic cameo until the Professor Lilac in Gotham Academy by Becky Cloonan.
Sweet.
But to answer your question, I would have to say Mr. Freeze.
Mm.
Why? Is it because he reminds you of Josh with his glasses on?
No, I think it's his backstory. It's such a tragic backstory, and the reasons why he's doing it. You know, even Arnold Schwarzenegger tried to tap into some of that. It's like he's doing it because of his wife.
Yeah.
And it's just like the idea of being like stuck in that suit for life and forever, and always have to be cold. And I think was it in the animated series, if I recall, where he finally like feels the heat or something, or is it in the comic that Scott Snyder wrote? There was one like Scott Snyder wrote a really good Mr. Freeze story. It was like supposed
that
to be like
one
a
shot
tie.
one?
It was an annual.
Yeah,
And
the
Greg
one shot annual.
Capullo killed it on the
yeah,
pencils.
that's
It was so good. And it tapped into the way they wrote him in Batman the Animated Series, but he found a way to make it his own and made you like Mr. Freeze a lot more.
Fuzzy says that Clayface is the best.
Oh,
No, he's one of the top 10, one of the normal top 10s. Sorry,
I
guys.
was
Lewis says Spawn is the best Batman villain because of the Spawn versus Batman comic.
That's true. They did fight.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
well, if
as we're
that's the
waiting
case,
for
then let's just
He
call
took a
it.
battering to the face.
as we're waiting for the the tallies to come in for the obscure Batman villains. We'll transition into the actual villains, and I think Jose gave it a good start with Mr. Freeze. I'm gonna go into Rage, Raz Al Ghul. I think it's a great character because of him being a launching point for so many different stories in Batman's modern era. You got the Talia and Damian as the new Robin, and then you have just Red Hood. There's just so many stories tied into him that that go outside of him just being a regular villain that Batman fights and puts in Arkham and then goes back about his day. I do like the depth of Mr. Freeze that Jose brought, but I think that Mr. Al Ghul has got some just broad reaching villainy that crosses over into a lot of different other characters. And he's like the oak that all of the other fruits branch off of.
John Padilla's favorite obscure Batman villain is Scooby-Doo.
They teamed up. They weren't villains.
Oh, it's good.
What's the best Batman team up?
Let's keep going here. We're going. We can go to the team up.
Well,
That's a different list, Jose. We're sticking with this one. Nate's sticking with a theme.
you know what? I was gonna go with Mr. Freeze, and Jose stole it for all of the right reasons. He's the one Batman bad guy that you can sympathize with, that you can totally, if I looked at all of Batman's enemies, Mr. Freeze is the one that I could most easily see being because of his motivations. It's definitely well within the realm of the reasonableness that a husband would have for his beloved wife.
Aw. Thanks, honey.
He does
said
have
beloved.
a heart. Josh does have a heart. Wow.
Shut up.
Okay.
Well, my pick, Fuzzy already picked them. I was gonna say Clayface. That was gonna be both one of my favorites from what Josh questioned, and then also my top 10. Clayface. I mean, this is a guy that could be anyone. Yet it's sad that even though he has those kind of powers, it's self-sabotage all the time and can't. He can't be a winner. He's always a loser. I mean, those just the way they draw him, especially on the Batman animated series, looks so cool. And yeah, that's one of my favorites.
For sure.
I think character design across the board on Batman the animated series, dude. Like, that's why Bruce Timm's a fucking legend. Him and that whole Kevin Altieri too. He needs to get shouted out more too, because he was doing a lot of those storyboards also.
It was the master of simplicity. It was that show was just it's freaking timeless. You want to talk about late to the party and something having a classicness. Those things are never, but they never do, and I don't think they ever will have a scene dated. All right,
Like,
so
dude,
Mr.
the
Freeze.
Riddler, the way he had the Riddler dress, how would you even call that? Like, just clean as hell. The way he drew the Scarecrow.
Suave.
Yes.
The Riddler dressed because he's intelligent. That's suave, sophisticated man with the cane and the bowler hat and the suit and tie and all that stuff. Yeah, I like that version of the Riddler. It didn't make him like a goof or an oaf. And even when he would say his riddles still came across very poetic and very, you know what I mean? It was, like he was very suave the way he did it. It was kind of like the James Bond version of Riddlers. He's just
Plus, he always felt that he was smarter than Batman, and like he could feel, like he could tell that he had that, panache, like just attitude.
I think what we also underappreciated the voice acting, because it was great selections too across the board, like Mark Hamill, Kevin Conroy, everybody.
My favorite villain, surprise, surprise, is a girl. I like Poison Ivy. I love Poison Ivy. She's one of those. She's another one of those like. She's one of those flip-flop characters. She could be a villain, or she could be not necessarily a hero, but at the same time, her motivations are her own, and she can flip-flop with what she thinks is right. And I like I like, with the exception of Uma Thurman's iteration, I like just about every version of her that they've like written and have done from the animated series, because they all have their own little different backstories. You know, when you bring up all the different villains, they all have like a bunch of different versions of them. And I like all of the different versions of Poison Ivy and how she's progressed and moved along. And yeah, she's a well drawn, well written, and I can appreciate it because she's a gender.
I was gonna say that's the primary reason. She's a redhead.
These gingers have to stick together.
I always like Mary Ann better.
But I mean, I think my favorite version of her, or favorite storyline that she has of her, is in the Justice story. That's where all the villains become the heroes, kind of. And you know, you can see that she can do so much, and her power is actually pretty impressive when she's allowed to do her thing. You know, creating a complete garden and forest and foods in Africa, you know, in the middle of nowhere. Like, she can just, if she was left to do it, I think she could destroy the earth.
Destroy.
So she's actually very powerful. They just don't ever let her let loose, you know.
But isn't she able to keep the zombies out during the World War Z?
That's what I didn't get a chance to read Deceased, but John said that yeah, she created this entire forest.
Yeah, she creates.
There's like a civilization, and she can provide food. She can provide oxygen for, you know, she can provide everything.
Basically,
for everybody.
God.
Yeah. So she's I mean, the way that you see her, like I said, every now and then in her storylines, that you can see like glimpses of like ultimate power with her being able to do certain stuff, but they've never written her to be the overpowering one. You know what I mean?
Because she's like Josh described the Juggernaut, has all this power, but then goes and robs banks. Like, she has all that power. She could totally be the most badass villain ever, and then she like does shit against ex-boyfriends. Like, like, I have the world's power at my fingertips. I'm gonna get revenge on that guy who
I'm gonna burn his apartment down.
Yeah.
Cheating on me.
She's a woman scorned. Hey man, she's a fiery redhead. That's what happens, okay? She's a woman. We lose our mind and we don't think straight when certain things happen, and we just go all kinds of crazy on you. But yeah, no, Poison Ivy for sure, I think is probably my favorite Batman villain.
My favorite is the Killer Croc. My favorite version of him is from the Suicide Squad movies. I'm fucking Now he's really good in the comic books. He's got that weird genetics that he's turning into basically a crocodile. And what does he do best? Fucking tries to be a mobster. Also is like the Juggernaut, robs banks and gets busted up, ends up in jail, and they give him a jail. And then the Suicide Squad, they give him the jail inside the sewers. So at least they're accommodating.
Well, in the Arkham Asylum video game, that was actually one of my favorite battles, where you have to walk through the sewer of Arkham Asylum, which is where he breaks out of his cell and he's in the sewer, and there's these boards, and you have to kind of crawl really, really, really softly. And like you have this meter that tells you that if you step or you run, you create the sound of vibration. And he just launches at you so quickly. And that's how he just munches you in one bit. That battle was like so nerve-wracking. I remember I was getting anxiety. I'm just seeing the meter like, and you stop and you think like, oh, if I use my gadgets and I swing across, I can get out of here easily. But what you don't realize is if you swing across and then when you land on the board, you shake the board and he knows exactly where you are and he just eats you. I was like, oh man, I love that battle. That was probably one of the best ones of that whole game.
Isn't part of his backstory too that he was there with the Flying Graysons, like at the circus?
Yeah, he was like a sideshow freak.
He was a
part of the sideshow, and he would like wrestle alligators and other sideshow type deals.
He does have a backstory that's a little like, oh, you feel a little bad for him, but they just don't flush it out as well as they did with like Mr. Freeze. Because like he gets picked on, and his mom, remember, wasn't that the issue? Like with his mom, like he did it to help his mom.
Died during childbirth.
Yeah.
So he was abandoned, and I think
that's what it was. He
died during childbirth. Raised by like an abusive family member because he was a crocodile with that disease, that skin disorder. So he was treated so poorly.
That's good. You got eczema. They throw you in the sewer. That's rough. It's worse than leprosy. All right, as we're still going. So, did we get one on the high? Did we get a popular one from Josh yet?
Yeah, I said Mr. Freeze also.
No, you need to put another one.
Yeah, pick another one.
I have to pick another one.
Yeah, Jose.
Well, we need to get 10.
Oh, I got another one that I like.
All right. Well, it should go without saying, but obviously, the Joker, probably the most iconic villain in comic books overall, and being a
number one
villain all the way back from issue number 4, I think, is the Joker's first appearance. So you're talking about something way back in 1933 or 34. He's a long-time villain, and he's been portrayed in so many different ways. Most of them pretty good, a couple of them not so hot, but I don't know how you beat Heath Ledger's version of the Joker. Just incredible. I have a soft spot in my heart for the Cesar Romero version. That's what I grew up with as a little kid.
I think if Ledger doesn't die, his version doesn't get as put on the pedestal like it did.
Nah,
I'm not saying it wasn't good. I'm just saying that that's part of the reverence.
Or the way everybody bashed Heath Ledger when they first saw those first stills. I remember so many people talking so much trash on him, and then when the movie finally came out and we saw that just the way he portrayed it and he acted, and it was fantastic. I don't know how you can. He made Jack Nicholson's look like that, and he just took it a whole nother level where it's just like
how much of that is him versus the script versus the director. There's a lot of influence.
Look at Jared Leto's fucking Joker.
And even the director said that he improvised so much of his role, like so many of the little mannerisms, so many of the little iconic
I'm
scenes.
just saying, I didn't say it wasn't good. I didn't even say it wasn't my favorite. I'm just saying that if he didn't die, people wouldn't put it on the pedestal that they did.
I disagree.
And unless somebody does die, they'll never be able to take that mantle from him.
No, I disagree.
Sit down.
It's one of those.
Put him in timeout for 2 minutes.
It's one of those things where. I was sad to see Heath Ledger go because I enjoyed him so much in things like A Knight's Tale. But
The Patriot.
10 things I hate about you.
So anyway, but my point is that I wasn't really. It was kind of like with the whole Iron Man thing. When I heard that they cast Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man, I was like, oh shit, here we go. And that was the same reaction I had with Heath Ledger and the Joker. I was like, wait, they're casting the dude from Brokeback Mountain. But he did so well. Don't talk shit about Brokeback Mountain. And I don't think. I mean, I'm sure for the normies, right? All of the regular people out there that don't know jack about Jack, I'm sure that they got excited because Heath Ledger had died, and like, oh, it's his fine, like the Brandon Lee people. But I think that even if he had survived, I think his time as the Joker would still be legendary. I mean, there's just no way around.
That was
Nolanverse
a
would have
great
been-
performance.
Would still be going right now
Mhm.
with him.
What would
Yeah,
still be
that
going?
was one of the greatest performances of being a Joker. Like, it was amazing.
So what you guys are saying is that being his Enter the Dragon has zero to do with the clout that thing held.
Yeah. Me
Okay,
liking-
you say
me
yeah.
like-
Who
me-
does everybody else say yes?
Me liking the Joker that had nothing to do with even putting him on this pedestal had nothing to do with him dying. I just
Yeah,
thought his acting was amazing.
Okay,
Like,
that's you. That's you. We'll see.
seeing the very
Comment below.
seeing
Comment
the very
below.
beginning of the movie, and he's in that mask and he's playing, all of a sudden he takes the mask off and you see, and he just fucking goes, dude. He takes that role and he just puts you there. He fucking killed it, dude. 100% killed it. And his death had nothing to do with the way I felt about his portrayal of that character.
Yeah, so I would agree that obviously when he did the role, he was still alive, so his death didn't contribute to his portrayal. But like I said, I do think you have to factor in what like regular people, how they're like emotionally driven. I'd be willing to grant like 10 to 15% of the renown that he received for that role,
And that's all I'm
being
saying.
due to his death. Yeah,
I didn't
I'm not
say
saying
he wasn't my favorite. I didn't say it
Right.
wasn't good or iconic or anything you guys are saying. All I'm saying is in the realm of the world, he got to be a martyr on this movie, and that carries a lot of weight for a lot of people.
but then
And to
Josh
say
only
that that's
said, Josh
zero,
said 10%.
to say that that's zero, it's not realistic.
Hey, that
it might-
character killed that dude. That dude.
but it might be zero for us, is what I'm saying. For me, his death had no impact on how much I enjoyed that role. In fact, if he had died and it was shitty, I would have just mocked his death,
That sounds like something you do.
So that's how that would roll. I evaluated the man on the basis of his performance, and in that role he did stellar. His death is irrespective of that.
Yeah.
Joker is so iconic that him taking that role is what killed him.
It's just like too bad all the other Jokers didn't die like that. It'd be like a Superman curse.
Yeah.
Damn.
You ever seen that picture of somebody passing the Heath Ledger picture to Jack Nicholson and he's so pissed?
I'll be able to find it and put it on this. Actually, there's so much. We're talking about so many things, and my brain's thinking about, okay, I'm going to put this on there. I'm going to put this on there. That this is going to be quite a project to be able to pull off the right way. I'm going to probably have to split it into two, where I'll do the obscure ones and I'll do the top 10. So, and the Joker would have been nice to have been put to number one, but we still got 3 slots on the list.
But that is number one. We're done. I'm just joking.
Yeah, you could put that as number one because the joke. I mean, that's for me. That's like the number one villain.
I think that goes without saying that Joker's number one for anybody.
Yeah.
But we
What
still
about-
got.
What about the Court of Owls as like a whole, as a Batman villain group? Like, I know there's a bunch of different ones, but like that was something different. That was never.
The
was
way
something
that Scott Snyder contributed that into the Batman mythology and it just made it into something bigger.
Yeah, because
Yes.
it didn't just affect the Batman character; it affected
It
the whole
affected
Batman family.
Gotham.
Yeah,
Gotham.
everything.
Well,
It
whole.
affected.
Dick
affected
Grayson's
Dick
great grandfather. Dick Grayson's
Yeah.
great grandfather is a
He was
fucking
supposed
head
to
of
be a
it.
Talon at some
Yeah.
point, and
Yeah.
He was
so
being trained to be a Talon as one of
Dude,
the
I'll
Graysons.
never forget
That was great.
fucking page when he punches him and the tooth goes flying.
That
and
was
then
that was so comic. That was such a comic.
But that was
move.
so like that moment.
And
is
he has
like,
a crown. A crown is the
a
fucking-
crown.
yeah,
but it's like they're going this. It was like this great back and forth, and then he's like, "Well, then explain it to me," and then boom, he just gets him, spits the tooth out, and then the crown out, and he realizes because you were supposed to be a Talon. It's like, yo, what? Like what?
But that sparked though that whole like thing to even go back in time to when Gotham first started, because that brings in the Jonah Hex stuff with how Jonah Hex and the original Arkham, original Arkham guy and all of that. Because if you didn't have the Court of Owls,
The founding
you couldn't tie that old West version, you know what I mean, of Gotham starting up with Jonah Hex and the original Arkham starting up because of the shenanigans that was going on there with the owls. And yeah, it has more far-reaching effect.
That's a great
Okay,
Because
so-
it's even happening like now in this new series that they're doing, the battle for Earth 3 or something like that, or the war for Earth 3. Amanda Waller's gone into and has grabbed a Talon from another one of the other universes or whatever, and he's a stronger Talon than we've seen before. It's not like one of our regular ones. Breaks back the Owlman's back and all that stuff.
So we've got that on our list here. Not necessarily a top 10 because there's so many we gotta get through yet. And I think that we've been going on this topic for a good 45. So let's just rattle some off. I want to do the Riddler.
Yeah.
Anybody else?
Penguin.
Penguin. Oh, there you go.
Scarecrow.
Yeah,
Scarecrow.
Scarecrow. Ventriloquist.
The Mad Hatter.
We had the ventriloquist. Was he not?
No, he wasn't. I said Scarface.
Arthur and Scarface. No, that wasn't the
Scarface.
ventriloquist.
That's two different characters.
Yeah, the Mad Hatter's another obscure villain.
Two-Face.
Oh yeah, Two-Face.
Harvey Dent.
Can we just say that what's his name? Aaron Eckhart did also an amazing Two-Face in that film.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's that's one of the reasons why that film stands so high, is just because every performance is like over the top. Every performance.
Patrick, we said Mr. Freeze already, Patrick. But
What
yeah,
about Bane?
definitely Mr.
Yeah.
Freeze is
How can we forget Bane?
Bane on the
Oh,
comic book.
yeah, right.
Azrael.
Oh, that's real.
Would you consider Azrael a villain or a hero or an anti? You know what I mean?
Anti-hero.
We can put him
Anti-hero.
on the list for now, for sure.
Because I mean, he went bad for.
What about
a long
Harley?
Time.
What about Harley?
Yeah, Harley Quinn.
Harley's cool.
Either. She's
Nah.
the woman version of
And
Deadpool.
how do
Yeah,
we not
but I
have,
don't-
how do
I
we
don't
not
know
have
if she'll be my
Catwoman
top
on this
10
list
though.
yet?
Well, the
Catwoman's
thing
up
is
there
that
too.
is Catwoman
also-
really a villain?
She's also flip flops, Catwoman.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So it's like, are we talking about ones that have consistently been villains? Because everybody we've picked have consistently been.
Has
villain.
Azrael consistently been a villain?
Well, that's what I mean. Is that could you consider Azrael or Harley?
No, Astro's an
Catwoman.
anti-hero. He's not a villain.
We could put Red Hood on here.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
flopped, he's flopped
Hush.
back and forth.
Hush. Yeah.
Oh, Hush is a villain. Hush is a villain.
Okay, so we've got a good amount now. We're not missing any super like, oh my god, how do we not fucking put that guy on there?
What about
Jason Todd.
Superman?
Yo, Josh, we were on the same wavelength. I was like, you guys want to argue? I mean, shit. What about Superman? Yeah.
Well, what anybody who doesn't go to the top 10 automatically drops into the honorable mention that we'll put in there. But so we got, Mr. Freeze. I think he's an automatic in for the top 10. Anybody disagree with that?
No.
All right, so Mr. Freeze is in. Joker,
For sure.
Joker's in. Now the trifecta of Riddler, Penguin. Well, the
Two-Face.
Two-Face.
Yeah,
Two-Face.
Riddler, Penguin, Two-Face.
What about the Mad Hatter?
Ooh.
Well, do we all agree on Riddler, Penguin, Two-Face?
For
Yeah.
sure.
Well,
For
he's
sure.
all, hey, leave Superman out of this.
You know which one? But another one we haven't really picked up on is what about
Anarchy.
Solomon Grundy?
Solomon
Oh,
Grundy.
Yeah.
I mean, I
Another
would
good
put
one.
Solomon Grundy, Clayface, and Scarecrow, Killer Croc. They're all kind of
Yeah.
and Poison Ivy. They're the
You
rest
would
of
go to
the
sleep
like
because
Arkham
you're
Asylum rogues
Go.
gallery that's constantly got the revolving door of going in and out of that he's always fighting with.
All right.
The other ones are special occasions.
in the top 5 so far, we got Two-Face, the Joker, Penguin, Riddler, and Mr. Freeze.
What about Killer Croc?
Killer
Killer
Croc.
Croc.
All right, Killer Croc. Killer
Yeah,
Croc.
it's a
Killer
Killer
Croc's
Croc.
in at 6. We got 4 slots to go.
Poison
Razo.
Ivy. You got to put a girl in there. Equal representation.
Did we put Ivy in there already?
Yeah. No, put her in there.
So does she want to get in there because she deserves to be in there, or does she get
Yes.
in there
Yes,
because
no,
of
she
affirmative
deserves to be
action?
Dude, how
I-
many times
okay.
has she
I would
seduced
actually
that
put
man?
Josh
I would pick
gets the
Poison
vote.
Ivy
Josh gets the
over
vote on
Harley.
Josh gets a vote on affirmative action on this one. Is she
Oh,
in
yeah,
there,
Poison-
Josh?
Poison
Okay.
Ivy definitely deserves it. for
I
sure.
agree. I agree. I just wanted to. So we
You
got.
You wanted to test me?
Oh yeah, I wanted to test you. We got 7. Now, who's not in there right now so far? Who's not in there is Ra's al Ghul, Clayface, Scarecrow, Solomon Grundy, Red Hood, Bane, Osriel, the Ventriloquist, the Court of Owls, Mad Hatter, Harley, Catwoman, and Hush.
I think Roz and Bane have to be in there. Those are
For sure.
integral
Yeah.
parts of his. He's constantly going against, and Bane
they-
just wrecked him
Yeah, they've definitely
a few
taken.
times.
Both of those guys have definitely taken an increased level of prominence as villains in more recent years. You know, you couldn't point back to like the 60s and say, oh, those two guys were great. But if you come to the 90s were all about those two.
Well,
you know?
aren't you forgetting another lady, that Lady Shiva?
Nah.
If we're gonna put
Okay.
Lady Shiva, then we should put Talia.
Well,
Yeah.
Lady Shiva was a big. She was a big thing when he came back after he got his back broken. Plus,
Yeah,
he's always
but
been a
Bane
villain.
is-
No,
Bane-
but Talia gave him his son. So
Yeah.
I would pick Talia over Shiva.
So you're just picking booty over actual villain. Because Talia
No,
just
what we're picking is Ra's al Ghul, who's the constant.
Nothing's more villainy than a woman that has your child and breeds him to want to kill you.
That is true.
that is true.
Pretty brutal.
Yeah, you're right.
Roz-
I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
She was
So-
just a booty call.
So is Talia? Does Talia take out Clayface
No.
and Scarecrow?
No,
No.
I
no.
don't think so.
Okay, because right now we got Mr. Freeze, we got Ra's al Ghul, Poison Ivy, Killer Croc, Riddler, Penguin, the Joker, Two-Face, and Bane. We got 9. We got 1 spot to go, and so that 1 spot, that's Clayface, Scarecrow. I mean,
Put the Court of Owls in there.
What?
You know what though? Listen, I've had my opinions of her, but if you guys have read the Punchline story,
Get out of here.
no,
I
no,
mean, I'm not saying she's not a good
Get out of here.
she exposed that Bruce Wayne was using company money to fund it, to fund
Get outta
all of
here.
his escapades, and therefore breaking the law, and sick the IRS on him.
And the IRS is the bad guy in that story.
Yeah, we should definitely put the IRS on the list.
bad guy in that story is the writer who did that shit.
The IRS is the bad, is the ultimate bad
That's
guy.
right.
They need to be on there.
Batman
Real
had
life
to
villain.
obey the IRS more than any of the other villains.
It should be number 1.
Actually, the biggest villain in Batman's rogues gallery is Bob Kane. For robbing Bill Finger for being penniless
Yeah.
on his dying bed. Put Bob Kane at
Damn.
the top of the list Fuck that guy.
Sucker.
No, if you have to pick from that list, I think Scarecrow is probably at the top of it.
Yeah.
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 Right.
He fights Scarecrow more often than Clayface.
It's true. He
And
does.
Scarecrow fucks with him hard.
And he always gets
Scarecrow.
sprayed. He always gets sprayed and he's fucked up for a few
I'm gonna
hours.
go fight the Scarecrow, but I'm not gonna wear a mask or any kind of like,
He
protection.
hasn't learned.
Even though this is the 15th millionth time I've done it.
I think I've grown a tolerance to his toxin. Oh, fuck, not again.
Is that what he's doing? Is he like huffing like the fear like gas?
He's in the
He's like,
Batmobile
oh
doing
shit, that was
micro-
the Omicron toxin.
He's in the Batmobile with the fucking brown paper bag of just huffing.
That's right.
I'm gonna fuck
He's
you
a-
up
he's
now,
a-
Scarecrow.
he's
He's got like
addict.
a, he's got
He's
like
an
a little
addict now.
yellow ring around his nose and mouth from.
He becomes a fucking
He's an
junkie.
addict now. He's a big time addict.
He's just fighting him for a free fix.
All right, let me throw in some things right here so I can edit this out, and then we'll go to freestyle. There you have it. Those are the top 10 Batman villains as voted by our people on the live stream and the crew of Collection Connection. Come back every week and we'll have another crazy top 10 story for you folks. There you have it. The top 10 most obscure Batman villains as voted by the Collection Connection crew. Tune in every week and we'll have another top 10 crazy things voted by our crew. See you next week. Booyah. All right. We'll be able to I'll be able to put something together with those. Now let's go see what's going on in the chats, because people were asking us stuff, but they were trying to steer us off the topic, and we had to keep on the topic to be able to do that in there. So let's see. Seems like Razor Ramon.
Oh yeah, rest in peace.
Rest
My
in
homie
peace,
Razor.
brother.
I was gonna bring that up when we started talking about the IRS. Remember IRS from WWE?
Erwin
Yeah.
R. Shyster. I remember.
Erwin R. Shyster.
Yeah, man. When I heard that Scott Hall died, I'm like, damn, that's one of my favorite all time wrestlers growing up. I mean, he was in so many iconic storylines, and
The thing about him, if I remember correctly, he was a great heel, and he was good like when he was talking shit. But I don't remember him being that great of an actual wrestler, if I remember correctly.
he was actually a good wrestler. He was one of the top.
Fucking so tall, dude, and those fucking
he was-
leg kicks to the face.
He was one of the top 5 all time intercontinental champions
Yeah, he held that title for a while too.
for a long time. In
the 90s, that motherfucker was everywhere with that title belt.
Yeah, and he was. Go ahead.
He was in the top 10 mullets of all time.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
That's going to be a show right there.
Isn't that cultural appropriation? Scott Hall as Razor Ramon.
Yeah, so what? It was a different time.
It was
We
a
were allowed to do it.
Hey!
We were able to do it. Back then, we were able to do whatever the fuck we wanted.
We can still do it today.
And then, of course, after being Razor Ramon,
Tatanka.
he definitely went to him and Kevin Nash did the whole NWO, which created a whole different
new scene in fucking wrestling. Fuck.
and it all went into the Monday Night Wars, which was the best thing that came out of all that. So rest in peace, Scott Hall.
How shitty
You will
is
be
it for
missed.
you to be one of the people that created that only against fucking Vince McMahon and the WWE, only for him to own all that years later?
Right?
It's crazy. I mean, but the Monday Night Wars were
They were
best.
good TV, man. They were good TV.
It was awesome, man. So
It was
I
good.
mean,
It was cool growing up in that era of wrestling and seeing that shit go down. And
but
I was hoping for somebody to clash in between to the fucking arenas, and it never happened.
well,
Like,
remember there's one time DX did
I know.
show up.
Remember when DX showed up to their show and were kicked off, but
Yeah.
that was as far as it got. I was hoping that there was an actual would be a brawl. I don't know, kid, hoping for the craziest shit.
But
Rest in peace, and his toothpick can rest in peace too.
it just but it made me realize today that because I saw all these older pictures of people saying their condolences, but now I've noticed Kevin Nash, Sting, all these wrestlers that were my childhood wrestlers, they're very, very old now. And I'm like,
Hey, get that will going, brother.
I'm like, wow.
Steroids fuck you up, dude.
I'm saying we're up in the age now. Like, Jesus, I remember seeing these guys when I was 18, 20. Now, it's been 20 years later.
Yeah, time to do some
already passed away.
push-ups. Time to do some push-ups. Go hit the trails and put down the zingers, dude. Otherwise, we're gonna be the next. I'm gonna be the next Scott Hall. All right, let's see. Josh is right. His death was a factor. However, he still to this day would have been the best. And that's kind of what I was saying. Let's see. Mr. Freeze, cool. Superman Prime. That was a good villain. Hey, leave Superman out of it. Batman and the Sinestro Corp. Don't forget Robbie Roo. Clayface, Swamp Thing, Slade. Hey.
Deathstroke.
Yeah, that was a good one.
I consider him.
Slade Wilson's not a villain. He's more of a constipator.
But he's more for Teen Titans, though.
Yeah,
He's
that's more
say,
of a
it's Teen
Justice
Titans for
League.
him.
I see him more for Justice League or Teen Titans.
For Deadpool.
We should have a Batman constipator list. Somebody that disturbs his shit all the time, but that doesn't really like fuck it up. Ow.
That's good times. Well, dude, that top 10, man. That shit took up we've been spending a couple weeks trying to just drag ourselves to get to 11. And that top 10, it seems like we're pretty animated, and I had a good time with that. What did you guys think?
That's good shit.
Yeah, that was
We
fun.
got homework for next week. So
Yeah,
we
what
can
do we-
actually
It's the kind of homework Isaac likes.
I don't want to be told like at 2:00 when I'm at work. I don't.
Well, I
got
just had the
enough prep.
idea today. Fuck, dude.
You can think faster, guy.
Anybody got any thoughts? Top 10,
Yeah.
top 5? What do you got?
Top 10 mullets.
Oh, yeah, that'd be great.
Top 10 comic book mullets. Or bowl cuts.
Guy Garter, baby.
Top 10 hairdos in comic books.
Top 10 hairdos.
That
All right,
was dope.
that's
Superman's
something.
mullet is definitely taking the trophy.
When he comes back in the black costume.
Yeah. That
I think
fucking,
Guy
that Grant
Gardner's there,
Morrison-
dude.
That Grant Morrison Justice League run with that big.
And don't
ass hair.
start talking about it. Save it for next week,
That's
man.
right.
Shit, you're gonna blow your wad.
This is a picture I'm
There's
gonna have. for
many
next week.
more horrendous hairdos in the comic world.
We need to have Fuzzy on for that one. He's got the best mullet.
Oh, look at Make Havoc's. Make Havoc's got a great new picture up there.
That's for next week.
Yeah, we should send Fuzzy. We should send Fuzzy invite so he could be on the dockets.
Yeah, I'm down.
Down if he's down.
You want-
Yeah, if he's free on Monday.
He can rock the mullet like nobody can.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Good God!
But
Don't-
remember,
don't-
he was dying at the end of the show. He wanted to take that damn mullet off because he was all sweating and he was already like, "Oh, I'm done with this."
The funny thing was, Liz and Josh thought that was his real hair.
Yeah,
Oh,
He
man.
did. I
back.
even told him that when I saw him and he like walked by. I was like, "What the fuck?"
He
What
shows up at the Korean barbecue place, and I was like, who's this guy? And they're like, that's Fuzzy. I'm like, where's his hair?
He didn't have his
Who
Joe
the
Dirt
fuck is
going
this?
on.
Who's this? Who's Steve's boyfriend?
He was a little chunky and fuzzy right there.
Fuzzy
Hey,
the
but,
Batman,
hey,
that's right.
That Korean barbecue was the bomb, though.
What happens in Goblin Town stays in Goblin Town. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my god. Leave Fuzzy alone.
Yeah, Steve.
Oh my
too
goodness.
much.
That's not cool, man.
What?
Wait, so we're doing top 10 hairdos
No, I
from
was
the
just
in
joking.
comic books?
We
No,
got
I like that
we
one.
could do that. We could do
That's
that, but I mean, there's an open. It's
There's
still,
a lot. Hey, there's a lot. You could do hairdos next week. There's
Okay.
a lot of.
Yeah,
we can do cartoons. We can do like.
that's easy.
Just with
Cartoons are
comic
No.
books alone, you can
It
do
is easy, but shit, didn't it? I thought Batman villains was going to take us 15 minutes.
Well, we did 2 lists actually, if you really think about it.
Yeah,
That's
leave it to Josh to take the inspiration and go in another direction with it. That's cool. We got 2 shows out of it, so
Sorry, guys.
I like the hairdo one.
All right, we'll do hairdo next week. Strictly
There's
men
so many
hairdo.
Storm.
so what's
it's Storm?
we have to get it together. So is it comic book? Is it like movies too?
No, we're sticking
Does
to
it
comics.
cross over into
Comic
Yeah,
books.
comic books.
Just comics.
Just
We're not
comic
going
books.
into fucking
Just the print.
ideas. Print run only.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
if we did that, we would have lost the King Tut, Egghead out of the
No,
show
Egghead
today.
was in the comic book. Thank you.
Yeah, Maximilian Zeus is in the comic books. You're welcome.
We just like the TV versions of them.
Well, see, that's cool. That's fun. Another lane for us. And then if you guys have other ones, just think throughout the week. If you get something, we can. If when it comes to your mind, even if it comes to your mind next Monday at 2 p.m., then
Just tell Isaac.
Yeah.
Hey, wait, what movie are we watching?
Sucker Punch.
Oh yeah, Sucker Punch.
Oh my lord, that's horrible.
Fuck you, Sanchez.
That's why you're not
That's
reviewing
why,
it.
yeah, you're not on here.
That's
Get
one of the worst movies ever. Like that's horrible.
Who invited
What?
this guy?
That's a horrible goddamn movie.
Who keeps sending out invoices to this man?
Hey, you can take his pull down if you'd like.
Oh
let
come
me go-
on!
Let me go through it
He's got some good
before.
stuff. I'll let you look through it,
Let me
Isaac.
look through it before you put it back on the floor.
I'll let you look through
much
it.
like Josh, Steve does a really good job stating his opinion as fact.
It is fact. That movie's garbage. Look at all the
We'll have the
comments
stats
and
when we do
everything
the
is
show.
Garbage.
Don't
We'll have
worry.
the stats when we do the show.
It's gonna get a glowing review.
Mhm.
Oh my lord.
All right. I think we got enough content for today, y'all. It was a fun one today. I'm excited for the superhero haircuts. So I'll do some research throughout the week and we'll do top 10 if we have to. If we can come up with 10.
I'd
or-
only get 5 out of it.
if you guys have something great, you want to send some pictures out or whatever, feel free to go ahead and do it. RIP to Razor Ramon. Razor?
Yeah.
Ramon. We'll see y'all next week on Talking Shit.
Nice.
Good night, guys.
Isaac, send me your list.
Okay.